Please ready? Good evening. Today is Tuesday, January 20th. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Heather, would you please take roll?
Mayor Pro Tem Smith.
Here.
Councilmember Lasky.
Here.
Mayor Sullivan.
Here.
Councilmember Grabowski.
Here.
Councilmember Ruzga.
Here.
City Manager.
Here.
City Attorney. Here. DPW Director.
Here.
Finance Director.
Here.
Community Development Director.
Here.
Police Chief.
Here.
Fire Chief.
Here.
City Engineer.
Here.
I was going to call you twice. Roll call complete.
Thank you. Any council member with a conflict of interest regarding an agenda item should disclose it at this time. Public hearings, we have none. Citizens' comment. Any citizens with correspondence to be distributed to council should provide items to the city clerk prior to the start of the meeting or after the meeting has adjourned, limited to 5 minutes. Anybody? Consent agenda. All items marked with an asterisk are considered by city manager to be routine matters. Prior to approval, any member of council may have an item removed and taken up during the regular portion of the meeting. Items include approval of minutes, payroll, invoices. At this time, council could take action to approve the consent agenda as presented. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll
there a
second
second?
that.
Heather, would you please take roll?
Mayor Pro Tem Smith.
Yes.
Councilmember Lasky.
Yes.
Mayor Sullivan.
Yes.
Councilmember Grabowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Ruzga.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Consideration of a purchase of a diesel exhaust removal system for the Manistee Fire Department. The City Fire Department received a 2024 Assistance to the Firefighters Grant to purchase a diesel exhaust extraction system. The department's listed 4 competitive quotes for the project, with Mag Group submitting the lowest bid at $63,537. At this time, council could take action to approve the purchase of a Mag Grip diesel exhaust removal system for the cost of $63,537 with the assistance to the firefighters grant. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
Yeah, just a reminder for what a diesel exhaust collection system is. It's simply a hose that hooks to the tailpipes of the fire trucks by a magnet. When fire trucks are started, a fan activates, then it takes all the exhaust fumes out of the station and out into the atmosphere. Fire trucks exit and it detaches automatically. This would just, it's a system that all the modern fire stations have to just keep cleaner air and just a lot safer and healthier environment for the fire department. We were awarded these funds through a federal grant, a FEMA grant, Assistance to Firefighters. And yeah, the lowest bid we got was $63,000, and we feel that's gonna be a good system that meets our needs.
So the grant covers the whole amount of the project?
Well, the grant was for $88,000, so there was 2 parts of this project: the diesel exhaust collection system and a fire alarm system. And that, out of that $88,000, $4,000 of that the city would have to cover, which that would come out of my regular budget, my repairs and maintenance account.
Thank you for going after these grants.
Yeah, glad to get them.
Thank you.
I'm really glad to hear you're getting this because it is needed. I do have some questions regarding
sure.
the system. In the quote, it stated tailpipe modifications may be needed.
Yep.
Are we going to have any that we're going to have to make, or are we all set?
Yeah, we are gonna have to make one modification. Our older ambulance has the tailpipe coming out on the, it would be the passengers. No, it has it coming out on the driver's side. And that, typically, tailpipes come out on the passenger side. And back when that ambulance was manufactured, they did it opposite the side of the loading doors.
Okay.
All right, but when we get a new ambulance, it's gonna go on the passenger side.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take I'm gonna set it up like the ambulances we are going to be purchasing, not like the ambulance we currently have.
Okay.
So we do have to do a quick modification on that.
Okay.
We did talk to our DPW, our mechanic there, and it's something he feels he can handle.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. What kind of maintenance will be required to keep this running tip-top shape? Are like filters or, ongoing costs?
No, it's really just hoses and a fan that takes it out. It's not filtered or anything like that. Typically, there's not really a maintenance agreement with this type of equipment and that, but, you know, when it does break,
filters.
we'll have to call and get it fixed.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Chief, I can't help myself. Switch back to horses. We are a Victorian city. You can save this cost. All right, I'll
You'd have to
stop.
buy more shovels, though. So, all right.
I digress.
Thank you. Heather, would you please take roll?
Councilmember Rezga.
Yes,
Councilmember Grabowski.
Yes.
Mayor Sullivan. Councilmember Lasky.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Smith.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Consideration of approving a budget amendment, grant acceptance, and contract award for the renovation of Veterans Memorial Park. The city has been working on the project to rehabilitate Veterans Memorial Park for a number of years. After several attempts, in 2025, the city received a Michigan Department of Natural Resources Trust Fund grant in the amount of $300,000. The city has budgeted proceeds from the capital improvement bond in the amount of $148,000 and the $157,000 in ARPA funds for the project. The project has been publicly bid with 5 bids received. The lowest qualifier bidder was Wodorsky Brothers Excavating LLC. Spicer and the contractor completed the value engineering to identify items to be removed from the project to make it more affordable. The city applied to the Manistee County Community Foundation for the additional funds to keep important elements in the project. The MCCF awarded the city $184,600 contingent on the city allocating additional matching funds in the amount of $135,000. At this time, council will take action to authorize the city manager to sign Manistee Community Foundation grant document and amend the budget to allocate an additional $135,000 for the general fund to support this project. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll support it.
Any discussion?
We did have an overview prepared, city engineer and Jeff McCula, DPW director. This is a project we've been working on for a while, so I think it's a good refresher about what it entails.
So just quickly, this project really began almost 10 years ago. We started to put in the annual operating budget for the parks to do some improvements to this park. And so for a couple of years, we started doing as much as we could. We quickly realized that some of the structural components on the wood decks and so forth were beyond what was repairable. We started to also, if you've been down there, a lot of the retaining walls are broken concrete, stacked. Those are not mortared in. We've had a lot of people that are picking those pieces up and throwing them in the river, along with the bricks and the walkways. The landscaping is very overgrown, so we started working with city staff and Spicer to kind of create a very comprehensive project to renovate the entire park. We spent a lot of time submitting a grant application to the DNR. We weren't scoring quite high enough, so we added elements into the project to kind of boost that scoring up. The one year where there was a lot more money available in the grants, and we were pretty sure that we were going to be into that fundable range, was the year that our recreation plan expired. And our recreation plan is part of the overall county plan. So all of the municipalities in the county had to submit at the same time. We tried very hard to submit our own, but because our previous had been submitted as part of that collective, we needed to do that again. So we weren't eligible for application that year. So the last time that we submitted, Sean and I went to the DNR meeting up in St. Ignace, and we did a presentation on this project to them face to face. Several of the commissioners had visited Manistee, one had fished here for years and years. There was a commissioner that was from Benzie County, so we walked away from that meeting hoping that we made an impression on them. Sean actually went to the award where they award all the projects. Our project did not make the cut with the state. The funding range to the scoring stopped where we were not funded. However, the DNR was able to pick, remember how many? Three or four other projects that didn't make the cut, and they selected Manistee as one of them. And I think it's because they heard our story, they heard the need, and so we were very fortunate. We proceeded with completing the design of this. In the agenda item, and if you reviewed the memo that we included, we've had money programmed in this for a long time through a capital improvement bond that funded over a dozen other projects in the community. We've put aside some of the ARPA funds, and so when we bid this project out, it came in, well, the low bid came in pretty close to what our original funding amount was. However, when we started reviewing the contractor's bid, we noticed that a lot of several items that they had submitted did not meet the specifications and would not have been good for the community. So that contractor pulled out, and the next low bid is the Swiderski bid. We knew that that was far beyond what our funding range was, so we've been working for, since this spring, or almost a year, trying to figure out what elements of this project we could cut out and still maintain what was required by the state for the grant, and how to value engineer it. So essentially, we proposed reducing some of the cable railing, and keeping only the cable railing that's necessary to meet code and for safety reasons. So that when you see that large change order amount, that takes a lot of that material out. And then on the screen, there's the darker shaded section is an elevated walkway that connects two of the existing piers that we're going to rebuild. And we thought that would be a great attribute to add to the park, give people more access along the river. But that's something that if we couldn't afford, we were going to have to remove that. Fortunately, the Manistee County Community Foundation awarded a grant that would cover the cost of that element. Sean's got, you want to give some overview on?
I can just really quickly, just probably, good evening, council. It's been a while since we talked about it, so this is kind of just a revamp. We're not really putting any new trails or ramps in. We're really just getting it all back up to current standards. And if you've been out there, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. We've got it, cut off from the public. But big elements on this are there's existing pavers throughout the whole system, and there's existing boardwalk. Both of those are getting fully replaced. That's kind of shown with the gray and that light tannish color. We're going to add back in some the retaining walls that Jeff talked about. They're going to be fully replaced along all sides. That'll be more of a architectural block retaining wall. There's about 600 feet of that. Again, all the concrete, and then the decking the surface will be replaced. We're going to add bollard lighting in. There'll be solar activated lighting. A lot more benches will be put back in, and then as Jeff mentioned, that new walkway really is going to provide ADA accessibility to that fishing platform that's on the west end. And so that's a big driver. There's some small items in here. There's a small little rain garden area we have. That's part of the grant application. We needed to kind of treat a little bit of storm water, so that's part of meeting some goals. It adds up fast. You wouldn't think that that'd be that expensive, but we found since COVID, I think everything in construction is expensive. So that's one of the reasons that drove the price up. The cable railing, just to hit on that, today, as it is today, if it was safe to walk through there, there is no railing in a lot of the areas, and that's fine. There's no drop-offs. We thought it might be nice to add it back in to have that there, but at the cost of $266,000, it's not worth it. But there obviously will be railing along the river's edge, along that boardwalk on both sides. So any place where there's a drop-off, there will be railing.
One key element, everybody's heard the term barrier-free. We all accept that and try to improve it. This park, as it's existing, is barrier-full. There's no accessible entryways into this. There's steps almost at every point. There's no way to get to the lower levels or even down to the band shell. One of the key elements of this project will remove those barriers and give accessibility to all of the elements within the park and also to that band shell.
And I'd say this one last thing is along the lines of a lot future planning, but if that North Riverwalk were to proceed to the west, this would allow, access to the full bottom portion of the park. So it's kind of in the master planning of it.
What are the materials on the brown, the gray, and the kind of green color? What is-
So the two shades of brown are basically deck boards.
Just like deck boards that we.
Just like we did on the other side. We looked at the EPAs and all the fancy woods. Again, you could double the cost right there just on those items alone. And then the grays are basically a concrete walk as opposed
Like a sidewalk concrete or small pavers or,
to sidewalk concrete.
Okay.
Or
Standard,
concrete,
yeah. So it's kind of standard.
and then the green is whatever that,
That's a good point. We don't really show the landscaping. There is definitely a lot of landscaping that's gonna happen. The DPW cleared a lot of that, you noticed last year. And there is, I think on the order of $50,000 to $60,000 worth of plantings that will occur around there, and we'll cut everything back. You literally can't walk through it right now.
So we went through the park with the landscape architect and members of the tree commission. And then we also had some specialists come from the county conservation district. And we went through that whole park, and they identified things that should remain and things that should go. So we went in about this time last year and took out everything that we could to reduce costs, and then there'll be all native plantings that are put back.
Yeah, I did note it was all native plantings. One thing, you know, the memorial program we had, I'm wondering if there's any possibility with these plantings, you know, if there's individual shrubs or trees or groupings of things that we could use to generate some revenue, maybe
for the
some.
benches. even.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
talked about the benches. I think certainly all the new benches that are put in here could be adopted through that program, absolutely.
And sometimes people do plantings, so, you know, you'll see a little plaque in the middle of it. It's just a thought. On page 56 of our packet, you know, where you had all the price breakdowns and it showed the cable railing being minus. And I just didn't know what this is. Waterborne pavement markings, blue.
Yeah, so that's, if you look at the site plan that we had up, we're gonna restripe the parking lot
Okay,
with blue paint
okay,
so that there's handicap accessible parking adjacent to the entryway, the
Okay.
barrier-free entryway.
okay. And then that's, because there were like 4 things that went along. And they were all related to pavement marking.
Yeah.
Okay,
So if you look at the image on the screen in the left-hand side where the little handicap symbols are, that's for painting those areas.
okay. And then I was curious with these solar ballads, just because they were so costly, are they like really tall? What makes them so wonderful?
That's a very good question. They're not very tall. They're shorter bollards. And,
Okay.
They have solar cells on top, and
I would, not exactly, but I would say down by the Lions Pavilion, how we have those bollards along the sidewalk, it'd be kind of similar to that. So they're low-level lighting. Our thoughts were that park would be safer and more appealing, safer if it's lit,
Yeah.
you know, so people can enjoy it in the evenings. Obviously, accessibility is if you're going fishing at night or just taking a walk, but also would create kind of a beautiful backdrop from the River Street looking north.
It was probably one of the sustainable green elements. We get more points in the grant application that
Because it's solar.
include those, so.
Jeff, did we take out those steps that were farther over at the Veterans Memorial where the old people were walking down? We talked about that before.
so the DNR brought those up specifically that we couldn't include it. We've had discussions on could we work with our contractor and get those taken care of.
Okay.
Once we get them on board, I think we should talk about that. But the amphitheater in itself, the concept, the DNR does not fund those. And so they didn't want to see us putting money into those specific steps in that very east end. So that's why it's not called out or shown, but
I could see they were falling apart. and
yeah,
all
they're
that.
terrible, yeah.
They definitely need work.
Yeah.
But for this grant, for the state grant application, if we showed the amphitheater or any work to it, it would have made the entire project ineligible. So we had to specifically exclude that. And then our intention is, once we get the contractor on board to work with them to try to improve that as a separate project.
Okay, good.
One more question on the money side a little bit. The city's got the 148 that they're, one was capital fund and the 157, and one was the ARPA fund. And then that 130 is in addition to that, the match that the
Yes.
foundation wants. So,
Yes.
okay, so that's our total. Okay. And what will the total cost be for this project about? I saw it in there, but I wasn't sure. I saw Swiderski's, but there's got to be other.
Yeah, 924 is the total funding.
Okay.
Once we incorporate that change order to pull out, the bid was actually a little over $1 million, but we need to pull out that railing.
I would also point out, we received 5 bids for this project, and with the one exception of the bid that withdrew, the other 4 were just above and just below the engineer's estimate. So we think we've got a pretty fair, this is what the
And
project's
it's
gonna
local.
cost.
I'm glad that it worked out, that we've got a local
And
contract.
we intended to have this project completed by last fall. So Swiderski's been working with us step and step and trying to help us get this to where it was a constructible, affordable project. And they were willing to carry their numbers, if council awards this, to be able to build it in the spring.
Good.
You good? Thank you.
Thank you.
Heather, would you please take roll?
Mayor Pro Tem Smith.
Yes.
Councilmember Lasky.
Yes.
Mayor Sullivan. Councilmember Grabowski.
Yes,
Councilmember Ruzga.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. At this time, council take action to award a construction contract and subsequent change order in the amount of $816,423 to Swiderski Brothers Excavating LLC for the Veterans Memorial Park renovations and authorize the city manager to execute the documents. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Is there
I
a
will second that.
Any discussion on this one?
I guess my main question is, on the DPW director's memo, it states in 2025, we hauled away $880,000 of this product. But then when you got to the page 62 of our board packet, the cost of services is quoted at $1,400,000, 4,000 gallons, and that's quite a difference. So I'm wondering if the quote is.
We're on the wrong, we're still on the,
we're down here.
Oh, I'm sorry, everybody. I guess I'm
I'll
just-
hold that thought.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Are you good?
Sorry.
You're fine. Will you please take roll, Heather?
Mayor Pro Tem Smith.
Yes.
Councilmember Lasky.
Yes.
Mayor Sullivan.
Yes.
Councilmember Grabowski.
Yes,
Councilmember Ruzga.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Consideration of approving a 4-year agreement with Biotech Agronomics to transport and land apply biosolids for the Clean Water Recovery Facility. The city removes biosolids from the Clean Water Recovery Facility each spring and fall. The contract with Biotech Agronomics expired in 2025. Two known vendors were contracted for quotes, with one quote being received from Biotech Agronomics for the 4-year contract. 2026 is .0585 a gallon, 2027 is .0602 a gallon, 2028 is .0620 a gallon, and 2029 is .0639 a gallon. At this time, council could take action to approve a 4-year contract with Biotech Agronomics and authorize the mayor to execute the contract. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Okay, now's your turn.
Do you want me to say it all again, or are we good?
My memo, I just referenced the amount that we hauled last year. It changes every year.
Right.
So they put a number in their contract, but there's no number that's guaranteed. Basically, the more nutrients that we get into the system and treat, the more biosolids that are produced. Also, as that material is stored, it's full of water. So the operators at the treatment plant are continuously trying to de-water that, because obviously that reduces the amount of gallons. And so we try to be as efficient as we can, but the numbers are going to change year to year.
So basically, that amount they quoted really isn't relevant.
I think it's an example.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just needed to understand that.
So if council approves this, well, I'll put it in my budget, probably $1 million, or I'm sorry, 1 million gallons worth, so that I've got a line item in the budget that equates to those numbers. And then each year we increase those based on what the contracted amounts are. Some years it might be higher, some years it might be lower, but we make our kind of our rolling estimate.
Then they had, per hour quote for cleaning of the digester and stuff. And the price goes up $10 an hour in 2028. So are we looking, how often do you clean these?
We inspect them each type of those tanks. There's really 2 tanks, the primary, and then there's a biosolid storage tank. So each spring, when those levels are lower down, we inspect them, and then we make a determination on, when we take it down in the fall, we're going to need it to clean it. So that occurs, maybe every 2, 3, could be 4 years, and then we'll put in extra money in that budget when we think that we're going to have to do that.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Jeff. Heather, would you please take roll?
Councilmember Rezga.
Yes.
Councilmember Grabowski.
Yes.
Mayor Sullivan.
Yes.
Councilmember Lasky.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Smith.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Now we will have a report from Mr. Don Helge and the Tree Commission.
Mr. Helge? Mr. Helge,
Yes.
want to use this for your PowerPoint?
Oh, I get to do my own. How about that?
And you can use the down arrow to advance.
Which one?
The down arrow
Down?
will advance.
Excellent. Well, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm here today. I've prepared some slides to bring you up to date on what the Tree Commission has been up to for the last 12 months. I'm also going to show you a few slides about what I'm really excited about, what we're going to accomplish in 2026. So if I'll go ahead and get started. We meet on the second Monday of every month at 5 o'clock right here, and we've got a good group of folks all working together. The members up here that are in green are going to continue on with us, and I'm sad to say that Sam Coram, who really has been an outstanding member of the Tree Commission, has decided that he's given his all to the city and asked to get off the commission. So we are actively looking for another member. As you can tell, we're authorized 7 members, and we operated at full strength last year, and we hope to get a new member so we can do the same thing going in 2026. In 2025, we were named another Tree City USA, and that was a major accomplishment. Because of what we are doing as a tree commission, what we're doing as a Department of Public Works, and what you are doing as our city council. So we really appreciate that, and I will tell you that in 2026 we have been approved by the state, and we're just awaiting final approval from the National Tree City USA Commission to make sure that we get it for 26 also. In 25, we also got a $3,000 award from the Consumers Energy, and we were able to plant 15 brand new trees on 8th Street. And these are beautiful trees, and they all went in the late fall with the watering bags. And one of the things that we're doing is working with the folks that live near those trees. They're on city property, but did I just
Nope, it'll come
off
back.
off? We want to make sure that they help us out by keeping those watering bags filled for the first 2 seasons that those trees are in, because they really need that kind of support to thrive. But looking at those trees right now, I'll tell you, they're really beautiful. They're going to add a lot to that 8th Street throughfare there. I told you last year when I talked to the council that we had just been awarded a $224,000 urban tree renewal project grant, and we are right into that grant right now, and I want to bring you up to speed on what we did in 2025 in implementing that grant. We are working in very close collaboration with the Manistee Conservation District. Tyler Dula, who has just been promoted to Executive Director of the Conservation District, was the main point of contact there, and he is the administrator of this grant. So everything you see on here, we have achieved. We've hit these key project activities and timelines through the end of 25. And as you can see from 7 on there, we're looking at what we're going to be doing here in 26 also. As a conservation district, they're administering the grant. They're doing the paperwork. They're doing everything there as far as making sure everything is done correctly. They issued the request for proposal for our tree inventory that I'm going to talk to you about in a few minutes. They're also for pruning and removal. They're in the process of getting those done, again, in conjunction with our Department of Public Works folks. They're doing an outstanding job there, and our job as a tree commission is really to work to make sure the public understands what we're doing and appreciates what we're doing, and we have a close communication with the advisory boards. Right now, we have an advisory board set up for Maxwell Town. The Maxwell Town area has got a good advisory board in place. Mr. Smith, we need some help from you to get an advisory board going for the north side. These are the 2 neighborhood areas that are going to be focused on. They're underrepresented areas that are going to get most of the new trees that we're going to plant. There's going to be 100 new trees planted as a part of this grant in the next year to 18 months. So we want to make sure that we have the community engaged so that they're feeling that we're putting the right trees in the right place that they need. So we need your help there. We'd like to have 3 people that represent the north side that would be willing to do this. Again, the collaboration and communication has just been outstanding. Tyler attends all of our monthly meetings and keeps us up to date. And he's done a great job also getting the grant reporting done. I just want to reassure you that this is going very, very well. Now, let's talk a little bit about what we've accomplished with this grant money. What you see here is just one screenshot. We have identified over 4,133 trees that exist right now on Manistee City property. We know where they are. We know what species they are. We know how big they are. We know if they've got a problem as far as health or safety. And all of this has been taken into the GIS system that the city already has. So this data is going to be ongoing, updated, and I'm very excited about this because this is a major goal that we had set up, and we were actually trying to do it on our own. But the grant enabled us to get a professional group in here, and these folks really did a good job of assessing and inventorying our trees in Manistee. This is just a representative of the green that you see here is where those trees are. And this includes the right-of-way areas, obviously in the parklands that are part of Manistee, the city of Manistee. But I'm very excited about the fact that it's in the GIS system and it's all right there, readily available to us. For example, when we get a request to either trim or remove a tree, now we can go in, identify that tree's already been identified. We know what kind of condition it's in, and we can tell the resident who has asked us to remove or trim that tree whether it's going to qualify for that. Okay, and it's not just by somebody like myself or other tree commission members saying so. It's because we've got professionals that have already assessed the tree condition, and I think that's really important too. Okay, I just want to. The report that we got, this is just a couple of excerpts from the report that really I think gives us a good indication of what's going on. There are 611 identified empty spaces right now in the city property where we can put trees. And the goal that we've got set for ourselves in the next 10 years, within the next 10 years, we want to have over 4,500 active, living, healthy trees in the city. We know what the size is. The DBH stands for diameter breast height, which is about 4 feet off the ground. So You can see there, we don't have a lot of huge trees, which would be on the farther right, but we've got some good, solid trees that are at an age that they're not at an over-mature level. The risk category that you see there were 2 critical. Those have already been removed. Then we've got just over 450 trees that really are elevated or have substantial risk. A couple weeks ago, when we had the big storm, Mother Nature took a couple of those down for us. Okay, we want to eliminate that kind of thing because, of course, obviously what that happened with the loss of electrical supply is really a problem. But the bottom line is these are the trees that you see there, the 379 and the 71 that you see in front of you. These are the ones that we're going to be focusing on, the Department of Public Works, and with the money that we're getting from the grant that will help to either remove or trim those and take action. Now, we've got a heck of a lot of maple trees in this town, as you can see on the left side. And that makes sense. Maple is the best species to grow, especially in an area that is on the shoreline. That's one of the first species that you see coming in when, taking over from the sand and everything that's on the shoreline. So when we look at the trees that we're going to be planting in the future, we're going to try to increase the variability and not have more diversity in our trees that are there. So these are some of the recommendations that the professionals have already given us. One of the things I want to assure you is we're going to be working with Matt Lamore at Blackcap Farms, which he is just a real honest-to-God expert on local species of trees that are native to this part of Michigan, and we want to really focus on that going forward. We do have our Plant a Tree program. I just put this up there for you to see. We added some different species last year, but you still see we've got that red maple and the sugar maple there. These species that we have there are the 5 species that are available right now. Those are native. Those have been looked at and vetted by both Matt Lamore and Josh Shields, who is the forester at the Conservation District. But we're going to continue to improve on this. The other thing I want to highlight is right now it's a $50 per tree for our residents. That's going to be going up to $75 starting in '26. But this is still the best possible deal that somebody could get to put trees in front of their property. Now, the other part that we've got going forward, and this is the future, is part of this grant is producing an urban forest plan for the city of Manistee. Long to go forward, have a written document that says these are the things that we are recommending that we do working together here in the city. So right now we're in draft number 1 of that, which is being reviewed by the members of the Tree Commission. But I want to share with you in the next couple of slides some, I think, cool information that's there. Our number 1 goal is to increase the number of trees and what we refer to as a tree canopy through the planting. We want to get to that number I told you, 4,500 trees in the next 10 years. Well, one of the things we want to do, again, is utilize the money from this grant to make sure that we're planting at least 100 new trees in the next 12 to 18 months. So one of the things that it says there is hire part-time staff in the summer to water the trees. We really want to have the residents take more of an ownership role in this, because if they do that, it's probably better than, we probably should have those part-time staff working, mowing our park lands and things like that. So the other thing is we're going to be doing training with the Department of Public Works folks on how to properly prune the trees, not just the new trees, but our old trees. And these guys do a great work, by the way. I've been out and about when they've been trimming and removing trees. And one of the things I want to tell you is I've had residents come up to me and say, these guys are so professional, they're so safe working, they do a great job. And our Department of Public Works folks really deserve a lot of credit. So, got another goal here is, again, proper care. You can see the data, the amount of information that is in each of these goals. I just want to just give you an example that this is going to be in writing. These are things that, you know, even if Jeff isn't there, and I know I'm not going to be there forever, this will carry on. It'll be in writing for us all to look at. Again, establishing the goals, establishing the timelines, these are things that are going to keep us on track. Now, the other thing, of course, it costs some money. If you look at this first, the first column under 2025, 26 on down, the money, the total cost there, pretty much of that is going to be covered by this grant. But look at the future. We're going to need the city council in your budgeting process to please consider these going forward, these costs that are being estimated there. I think we do an outstanding job already moving money around within the Department of Public Works budget, but I think we need, as going forward, we need to have more of a consistent budgetary process to make sure that we don't fall behind in our goals of making sure that Manistee has the best possible forest management plan, urban forest management plan. So, we're going to continue to collaborate with the Conservation District. And again, the Department of Public Works does a great job supporting us now. And we just need you, the city management, to take this urban forestry management master plan and adapt it into your budgetary process. So, are there any questions of me at this time? Yes.
You had the number of trees, John. They're the city trees, correct? It's the trees, right? When they did this number, it's
These are trees that are currently on city property.
Okay.
Whether it be parklands or the right-of-ways.
Good. And then the second question is, if you replace a tree, and most of them are done probably through the DPW, who updates this map? So we keep the inventory current. Say a resident goes out and buys a $75 tree.
Yep.
How does that get included?
That's a great question. That's one of the things that we're going to work with, and we hope that because it's in the GIS system, that we'll be able to have someone in the Department of Public Works. You know, I don't want to throw even more work on Katie's desk, but she does an outstanding job keeping up with stuff now. But we just want to make sure that, and you've hit a good point. We've got to be able to continue
Yes.
this.
Okay. Good job.
You had undesirable trees. Are there any, on one of your slides, are there any plans dealing with those, or are you just going to leave them be? And
What kind of trees? I'm sorry.
undesirable?
Undesirable?
Yeah, I think
We've already taken action on some of those. For example, the Tree of Heaven. We've gone through a major process with that. There's a huge one that's just off of, what is that, Fifth Avenue? Or, right there just past the brewery.
Ford Street.
Pardon?
Ford Street.
Ford, yeah. And Department of Public Works has already taken action on that to reduce that. But the thing about a Tree of Heaven is you just can't cut it down and it goes away. It springs back up, and you've got to take special action using chemicals and things like that. What we really want to do is eliminate the undesirable trees in the future.
Okay.
Okay.
It's all good.
Good job.
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Okay, citizens' comment. This is an opportunity for citizens in attendance to comment on municipal services, activities, or areas of city involvement, limited to 5 minutes. Letters submitted to council will not be publicly read. Ready? Mr. Gamble.
Thank you, the Tree Commission, for your hard work. And I just want to remind council, the budget priorities due Friday. Received a couple so far, but just a reminder about the Friday deadline. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Roscoe.
Couple questions. Any progress with the land swap subcommittee?
We did meet, and we are proposing one of the properties to the state, so.
And then, do we have an update on the Manistee Elementary traffic study?
We're working to get dates from the traffic engineer, I believe.
they've set a date for the spring to do the study, the field work.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Gorowski.
Okay. Bill, is there anything we can do with that, when you come up Cypress Street, coming up the hill, you come down 12th and you come up and by the dental clinic and then you stop at the stop sign. That bush is right on the left. Is there anything we can do with that? A lot of people are pulling out farther to get.
It's the
into
historic Manistee sign.
Yeah, it's a Manistee sign, but there's a big bush around there too.
Yeah, if it obstructs the view of traffic, we can remove it.
Yeah, I thought Jeff could look at it and see what he thinks, and a lot of people are really pulling up and to look at it.
Are you aware which one he's talking about? Okay.
Yeah, we'll look at it.
Okay, then, I don't know if you noticed, but I got a call the other day that Parkdale was putting in pickleball, more courts, so that they can have tournaments and all that. I don't know if you knew that.
I did hear rumors, so that's good that they could do a tournament out there.
Yeah, they can do tournaments when they get them built, so that'll be great. Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Mr. Smith.
Just good job with everything this last apocalyptic storm, I guess we had, or Michigan winter. DPW and police definitely out there, so appreciate everybody's work on that. It was a hairy couple of days.
Ms. Lasky.
Just encourage, we talked about the master plan, the city master plan. It's out there, it's available. I'd encourage people to read that we should all be familiar with that, because obviously we do use it. And you mentioned that. Are there any ARPA funds went to this project. Are there still some ARPA funds available that we have in reserve? No. Well, that's too bad.
That's pretty good.
No. And I guess that's it.
Okay. I will take a motion to adjourn.
Make that motion.